Is there any special country you want to go to?
Wyoming.
No, Wyoming. That's not a country. That's all right. I'm going to take care of it.
For a long time, Hollywood could only imply homosexuality on screen. Although the 1920s was a bit looser, the Hays Code in 1934 ensured that gay characters and relationships were never explicitly referenced. Movies like Alfred Hitchcock's Rope and All About Eve sought to imply the existence of gay characters, but it wasn't until the 1960s where the code broke down and mainstream Hollywood movies could start grappling openly with homosexuality. The legendary epic, Lawrence of Arabia, was able to lightly imply a relationship between two men in 1962.
This is my well.
I have drunk from it.
You are welcome.
He was my friend.
That?
Yes, that.
Peter O'Toole's T.E. Lawrence has a relationship with his companion, Sharif Ali. The director, David Lean, told Peter O'Toole to play the character as a gay man. In 1964, Sidney Lumet directed The Pawnbroker, which openly allowed two Nazis to be gay. Also, Brock Peters plays an African-American pimp who is also clearly gay.
Oh, that makes you stupid, Professor. You're living right in it. Right in the middle of one big whorehouse, right in the bosom of the world. How do you say it? Filth? Horror? Right in the middle of it, and you don't know it. Or maybe something else. Maybe because you don't want to know. Are you that kind of man, Professor? The kind that doesn't want to know about things, feel about things? Are you that kind?
The film showed bleak images of a concentration camp, sexual assault, and was pushed to the Hays Code board in the hopes of breaking the board completely. It worked. A decade later, Sidney Lumet again brought gay characters to the screen with 1975's Dog Day Afternoon. That's the film we're going to be discussing tonight.
Hey, where's the mail? You ready to go to Algeria?
Algeria? Yeah, sure.
We're all going to sunny climes. Sal, I can make it happen. I can make it happen. I made it happen so far, right? I can make it happen.
Dog Day Afternoon is a movie based on real events, and it dramatizes a 1972 robbery and hostage situation that occurred at a Chase Manhattan bank in Brooklyn. The robbery was written about in a Life magazine article called The Boys in the Bank. John, or Sonny, and Salvatore and their friend Robert held 7 Chase Manhattan bank employees hostage for 14 hours. The real John had pumped himself up by watching The Godfather before the robbery. Fresh off The Godfather 2, Al Pacino and John Cazale starred as Sonny and Sal in this dramatization. I mean fresh. It filmed 4 months after they finished filming The Godfather 2. Pacino helped cast the film. Many of the hostages and other characters are his former off-Broadway co-stars. Sonny manages to keep all the hostages alive, a grueling task as one has asthma and one has diabetes. The FBI then tricks him and kills Sal, a former convict, before arresting Sonny and dragging him to a 20-year sentence of which he'd only served 5. Sonny is also revealed to be gay and in a relationship with a gay man named Leon, who is now planning to get gender reassignment surgery to transition into a woman.
Well, I don't have a choice.
What do you mean you didn't have a choice?
Well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, they're standing all around me. There's 7,000 fucking cops all around me.
Who's on the phone now?
Look, don't lay it on me.
I'm not laying it on you, but you knew that was going on, right? What are you talking about laying it on you? You knew what was happening, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have
who's
a
on
choice.
Who's on the phone now?
The expense of the surgery is one reason Sonny decides to rob the bank, as well as his mountain of debt, 2 kids, and inability to find a job.
You know, you gotta get if you want a job, you gotta be a member of a union. See, and if you got no union card, you don't get a job.
What about non-union occupations?
What's wrong with this guy? What do you mean non-union? Like what? A bank teller? You know how much a bank teller makes a week? Not much. 115 to start, right?
Sonny is married Leon, but is also married to a woman, Angie, with whom he has children. The humanistic portrait that Sidney Lumet paints shows a complicated and duty-bound husband and father who is not merely a homosexual, but is a man with complicated obligations and no way to meet them. Sonny faces down homophobia, not just from hundreds of cops surrounding the bank or from the crowds outside, but from Sal, who is mortified to also be called gay.
Our coverage of the Brooklyn robbery, where two homosexuals are holding hostages for their demands of a helicopter, a jet,
Sonny.
and safe passage out
Sonny,
of
they said on the TV, two homosexuals in the bank, right on TV. Did you hear what they said?
What difference does it make? It don't matter. They're gonna say anything they want. You know? Let them say.
The crowd outside largely treats Sonny as a kind of Robin Hood figure, and the media spectacle is as much of a character, a stand-in for us, as anyone else. A year after Dog Day Afternoon, Sidney Lumet would direct Network. It's clear that Lumet and the writer Frank Pearson were grappling with a TV ecosystem that was telling us how to think and feel, hungry for the sensational. As the hostages settle into a strange giddy Stockholm syndrome, they also relish being characters on TV. That TV is also able to show the factional identity of gay Americans who are split on whether Sonny is a gay icon or a nightmare for them.
Phone calls have begun to arrive at our switchboard from various factions of the gay community. Some in full support of Sonny and his actions, others totally condemning the present events and calling the marriage a farce and, quote, a case of sheer exhibitionism, end quote.
Lumet has gotten criticized for the gay characters in The Pawnbroker, but here these are more fully realized, especially Pacino's performance, than most gay characters today. Dog Day Afternoon feels like a landmark, grappling not just with both homosexuality and transgender identity, but also the nature of homophobia in a sensationalist time. The most famous line of the film comes when Sonny goes outside and plays to the crowd, yelling, "Attica, Attica, Attica."
Get over there, will ya? He wants to kill me so bad he can taste it.
I'm always gonna kill anybody.
Attica! Attica!
Will ya?
Attica! 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 Attica!
Attica, a prison riot that took place a year before the robbery, had ended with 29 prisoners and 10 correctional officers dead after police opened fire on everybody. Symbolically, this was one of many events in the early 1970s that showed how fundamentally broken and uncaring this country had become. And, after ambushing our protagonists and killing one, it stands as yet another moment where law enforcement chose to just neutralize rather than compromise.
What? Kiss me. When I'm being fucked, I like to get kissed a lot.
Come on.
You're a city cop, right? Robbing a bank's a federal offense. They got me on kidnapping, armed robbery. They're gonna bury me, man. I don't want to talk to somebody who's trying to calm me. Get somebody in charge here.
I am in charge
I don't want
here.
to talk to some flunky pig trying to calm me.